It looks like the Chiefs are back and the Eagles are going to hell. Man, it's crazy what happens in a week. This is the NFL football preview show. Come on in. Let's go.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. We are back.
Hey, guys. This is your. Hey, guys. I got to fix that, John. Welcome, everyone, back to another episode of the Moneypot Sports Show. This is the NFL preview show. I am the host. I'm the CEO. They call me Moss Money. And I got my guy with me, BHUmble. What's up, Brody?
What's up, man? We are back again. We had an up and down week last week.
I was mostly under the water. Didn't do well. Was fighting up the climb to get some air, but was drowning last week.
But you went out swinging. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep swinging the bat.
Shit, if you strike out, that shit. Said you went out swinging. You went out on your shield. Well, motherfucker, if you dead, it don't matter.
we got to get back in the box, man. Get that bat back in the box, right. Man. We're going to keep swinging.
Yeah, he said, man, you got hit with a 1-2 and a 4. You both eyes closed, but you went out. You're gonna go out there again, but motherfucker, you can't see. All right, let's get to what are we at? Week, I think 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, week 7 should be.
Kind of crazy how kind of the league has been really up and down, even flow. I think college, I think is a little bit more a sense of what the top teams are. Mm-hmm. I think in NFL, it's still kind of like, 1 week it looks like it's looking like this team, and now the next week it's like, whoa, and then again, like I said, the Chiefs just put everybody on notice that they're still the Chiefs. And I kind of knew that already. I think we talked about Mahomes MVP stuff for him weeks ago. Obviously, that more likely has changed with whatever those numbers are. At this point, I haven't looked at them. But, man, no, I just want to see, actually. He's probably ranked 2. No, he's a favorite. He's a favorite at this point. Remember when he wasn't even a favorite. He was like 6th, 7th. I think he was like 9 or 10-1 to win the MVP. When I said, like, yo, Pat, no, you can't sleep on that with Pat. But anyway, we got the preview shoe ready to jump through. Are you looking at anything for Thursday night, or we're going to get right into what the hell is going on in Philadelphia and these goddamn Eagles?
Yeah, I have nothing for Thursday night. I thought, Pittsburgh, you can look at Pittsburgh's team total potentially. But I haven't made a run on that yet. But
yeah,
short week, travel week for a visiting team is. I know we all know the Bengals are bad defense, but Joe Flacco's there, and Joe Flacco's given Steelers hell his whole career. So this is something that I think Mike Tomlin made a point in this conference. I mean, in his press conference, that he was pissed off at the Bengals for trading for Joe Flacco. It didn't make sense. I agree with him. I don't think that makes sense. Trade rivalry teams, ultimately, division teams, a quarterback when they didn't have one. It doesn't make sense.
No, yeah, I agree. It doesn't. But
I mean, you made them better. You ultimately made the Bengals better.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at the receivers. I think
Chase had like 10 catches for 90-something yards or something like that.
Right. He had that in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's instant. It was instant better. Yeah. And now you got to play Steelers on a short week. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, we'll do our preview, and let's talk about them. Your defending Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. The Wentz Bowl, or at least it might look like it, might not look like it. Who knows? We don't know yet. Both quarterbacks have practiced against the hated Minnesota Vikings as they climbed up the FU chart for Philadelphia fans, as they did their skull bullshit chant on the Rocky steps, and I think put Rocky in Vikings gear, and we all know the meme of Go Birds. Go Birds. Line is short, almost a pick. Projected total looks a little bit low. Looks like the Vikes are the dog in this contest. A lot going on with Philadelphia here. A lot of the ship staring off and us needing it to get back on track. A lot of injuries, key injuries that we have here. As you can see, a lot of question marks. Still very early. It's Wednesday night, but you can look at the two losses, especially the giant upset to the Giants, where we just got bullied. But man, talk to me, man. How do you feel about the Eagles? And then what do you feel about going against the Vikings? It's like I almost feel like this game it means something, but it doesn't mean anything. Like to me, the Giants game is the next game because this game is sandwiched between the Giants. But that game two against the Giants, I feel like you makes you like as an Eagles fan, it make you want to go to that game. You know what I mean, and I know how you feel about Giant fans and the Giants. So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. But talk to me about the Eagles again, and then how you feel about this game, and then obviously how that's is being scheduled sandwich right with the Giants coming right around the corner.
Yeah, I think let's start with the good news.
Hold on. Hold on. You said good news. Let me zoom up for this.
Yeah, let's just start with the good news off a terrible couple of weeks for the Philadelphia fans. As we mentioned in our college pre-show, I mean, what a horrible 2 weeks. The Phillies losing in the playoffs, Eagles losing back-to-back games.
It's like a bad nightmare. We retelling again.
Yeah, it's rough, and now we're back here again. The good news is that we got some pieces back that are coming back off of injury. Carter's back. Looks like Mitchell practiced today. Those are key pieces in our defense.
Is Mitchell is he practicing today?
He practiced today. He's a full padded practice today.
Wow.
So that's good news. The problem is I don't know who we are as a team.
Agreed.
I think there's a lot of blame to be shared across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are in dysfunction at the moment. And I think with Zaire Smith retirement puts that bow on that statement.
Mm-hmm.
I think he realized what was going on here in the locker room and the dysfunction that's been going on. And he's like, I'm not dealing with this. If I was going to come back, I was coming back to potentially make a run. And he obviously doesn't see that happening with his football team. Not saying it can't happen, but he doesn't see it. And he retired.
Look, he said, this is what he said.
That's what he said.
I ain't dealing with this shit.
That's what he said.
He's like, what he said.
I didn't really come here to be a full-time starter.
Nope.
I ain't like, nah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yep. And that's a big sign. So is something going on offensively? There's some turmoil that's happening in the locker rooms. The coaching staff have not got it together. I think Nick Sirianni needs to step up and right the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing a team that's playing good football. They're playing team football with multiple quarterbacks. JJ Redick, they got wins. Carson Wentz, they got wins. Their defense looked tight. And you got two nasty motherfuckers, two nasty players.
JJ McCarthy. You said JJ Redick.
Oh, sorry, JJ McCarthy. I apologize. Two nasty mugs on the outside of Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
Yep.
And I think they're going to cause us problems. I do.
For sure.
I don't know what the play would be here. The line is telling me Eagles here on away and then being favorites. That's what it's telling me after what we've seen. I don't know how.
Mhm.
After an embarrassment loss,
And then
I don't.
Vikings coming off a bye too.
Right. I mean, they travel, right? They had to travel back. They got a little bye. We got a little extended bye. I don't see our offense getting fixed without any adjustments that happened, right? Nothing happened. Nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think I would lean the home team here, which is the Minnesota Vikings. But I would look at Jordan Addison's prop bets more than anything else. I think he's going to go off against whoever they put on outside. If it's Kilo Ringo, if it's going to be Jackson, I think they're going to have issues on that side. And Jordan Addison's going to at least get over his catching prop and yards. So that would be something I would look at more than anything. I would lean Minnesota and Jordan Addison's props.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not mad at the call. I don't know.
Mind you, the Eagles are 8-0 against that conference since Nick Sirianni came in that division, since Sirianni came as a head man. He has not lost a game against the NFC North. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's 8-0.
They don't have because the quarterback situation hasn't been cleared out on one of the books. They don't have it up. You might have to shop around for that. But I mean, me personally, I'm looking at Jefferson all day.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a mismatch. He's just a mismatch. And I just checked. Wentz participated in full in practice, and JJ is still questionable, and the ankle is not 100%. So more than likely, JJ's out. Wentz gets to start.
JJ practiced today, though.
He did practice. And Quinyon Mitchell was limited in practice as well, from what I'm reading. I think they need to get the offensive line back. Leonard Dickerson needs to play. They need to get continuity, and they need to get this run game back to whatever run game they have. But like you said, they have no identity right now. People can talk all this and that about this offense being vanilla and boring, and the quarterback, the OC, Sirianni needs to figure it out. That locker room needs to figure it out, because when I see a veteran who comes to a team to win, and they're still a winning team at 4-2, and says, "I'm just going to retire," that
Crazy.
speaks volumes to me.
It does.
About what's happening behind the scenes. Like, whatever this is going on, I want no parts of this energy, and I'm cool. And now you need me to step up and do more than what you're paying me? I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not willing to take this ride, because maybe he's seen this ride before, and it's like, I'm just cool. Whatever it is, I think it takes a lot for a guy to just peace out on a team barely mid-season. We're just getting into the thick of it, and he don't want to go for the ride. So I think that's super telling to me that there's something internally that's not right. We're hearing all the rumors of trade rumors. I just dropped a video for the trade rumors in terms of the pass rushers that they're looking at. We're ways away from Nolan Smith coming back to give us some pass rush help. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why the projected outcome for this game the way it is the way it is. I don't know if that's built in, that Sirianni hasn't lost. But I mean, best believe Carson Wentz wants to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
For sure.
like I best believe that for sure. You know what I mean? And if he can, he might be able to hold on to that starting job for a little bit longer. It was a tough game they lost in Pittsburgh, but I think he's 2-1 since he's taken over. You get to 3-1. It's hard to say that we go back to the other guy when the other guy was show glimpses, show fire, but still wet behind the ears. So I don't have anything from aside from this game. I think the line is right on. I think it is a 50-50 toss-up. I would lean to the home team as the underdog here. Just like to those points that you said, just too much skill on the offensive side. we're still hurt. We're still trying to figure it out. And honestly, I think it's a look ahead spot. It's I'm all I see is the Giants because the way the Giants beat us was like embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like when you get like when
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I don't know if they want to see the Giants touch you. I think they fucking scared of the Giants. I think they beat them to death.
Yeah.
And I don't think they want to see Scatterboo. They don't want to see 44. None of them want to see Scatterboo. Like, I promise you, they're probably like, we got to see these boys next week. Ugh.
Yeah.
There's some teams that just punch you in your face, and it hurt. Them games hurt. You see Zach Bond getting smacked around.
He got trucked.
Right. Couple times.
I've never seen him get trucked like that. Trucked.
Like that's an intimidation factor there. Now I get what you're saying is like they want to get their get back, and Jalen Carter will be there to help with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like Scatterboo ain't changing how he runs. He coming. Pause.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
and it's weird too. You ever see him when he get up? He always shaking his head.
He an animal. We always had one of those on the team.
Yeah.
He just plays a running back position. He's an animal, man. He's an animal.
And it's funny with them. I like when I see things when they show love to the old greats. And there's not a lot of great white running backs, but they all wear 40 or 44.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I didn't even know that, and I was like, that's because I was thinking about Bradshaw. Is what I was thinking about because I think Bradshaw was 44, and they kind of similar in styles. Kind of that kind of compact running, but Bradshaw had a little bit more breakaway speed. But no, I thought that was kind of cool. Enough of that though. All right. I got one game coming up here, and I'm gonna take you to the toilet, bro. You know what I mean? And it smell bad. It smell real bad. You talking about the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns? Real bad. A lot of stuff going on with these teams. But I tell you what, after what Tua just did in that preview, for this preview, calling out his team, calling out the leaders, calling out leadership, Tua must be tripping. Now, he already came out and apologized, right? Damage is done, bro. They're talking about trading Chubb. I don't think these guys are going to get behind him. It's going to be bad weather. You're talking about still statistically one of the top defenses in the NFL. I'm not a big Gabriel fan. I think he's going to get somebody hurt. Wouldn't surprise me if you see Shador in this game. But I think this defense is good enough to keep this team in it. And I think you see this team actually win in this preview. So I'm going to the toilet, bro. I'm backing the Browns in this one. I think the Dolphins have packed it in. I think what Tua did was putting the nail in the coffin for me. I think he lost his team, to be honest. I don't know how they rally behind him after this.
Yeah, that was rough. He didn't have a great day after a loss, and I think he threw like 3 picks that game.
Yeah.
The idea that you come up there and you start pointing fingers is insane. This ain't the first time he did that. He has a history of doing that. We can go back to Tua pointing fingers at Brian Flores. Remember, we can go back to that time frame.
Yeah,
talking about how he had him mentally this and mentally that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Tua. This is who he is. You might be spot on. I mean, and McDaniels being a head coach don't help that because he's somebody that's bent over and let the players do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said, it's a toilet bowl type of game. There is a little bit more structure in Cleveland. I think you're right. I think that's a good position there. I think Dylan Gabriel's going to be okay. I get what you're saying, but I think he's young. I don't think they pull him at all. I don't think Shador gets his opportunity until or if Dylan gets hurt. Or we're probably, closer to like week 10, week 11, week 12, after you give Dylan an opportunity to be a quarterback. He's not having an opportunity to be a quarterback if you're going to pull him after, 2 games. You got to see what you got there. He was drafted ahead of him, and it is what it is. But I like your position here. Cleveland Browns have the better defense. Tua got to be careful because he about one concussion away from, slurring his words. So
the only reason
he one missed block away.
The only thing about Gabriel that I saw in that game against Pittsburgh was I thought that he put the ball in some bad spots where he led some of his receivers. Some of them were some good balls. He did unfortunately have some drops. Judy has some drops. I think there was one drop touchdown. I think the other tight end, the other high pick, second round pick, I think it was, had a big drop for a touchdown. I think his name is like Fans or something like that. I forget his name. But I mean, he had some good balls. He had some balls that looked like get somebody hurt, but he threw 52 times last game and only for 221 times. So, I mean, he would, they were chucking it with him. So I only say Shador just if he's flat, right? If he's flat and they need a spark offensively. I do agree with you. I do think they keep him in there. They're 1-5. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to the playoffs or anything like that. They're going to see what they have in Gabriel. So I think that leash will be long for him. But, it wouldn't surprise me if they go flat, if he gets flat and they put Shador in. I thought Shador was going to get in because he had his helmet on last game. Usually, they don't have their helmet, but he had his helmet on, didn't have the earpiece or the pad with him. So I thought he was getting in last game, but that didn't happen. But again, I think Cleveland's defense, I think they're ranked second or third in the NFL versus Dolphins defense, which is ranked 30th. Cleveland got to get a little healthy. Njoku didn't practice today. Judy was limited today, so hopefully they get some of that offensive firepower back for this game. But again, bad conditions, rainy conditions, I believe for this game. I do think Cleveland wins this game outright. The line is low enough for me. I'm not sure how many points the Dolphins are going to score in this game. And like I said, it's just a bad spot, I think, for Miami. Coming off the loss, then you have your quarterback call people out. Now you got people looking at you like, yo, bro, you know what I mean? Like you just threw 3-4 picks, like you said. Now you're going to call everybody else out? We've seen this story before. Yeah, you can pack it in. Well, I mean, Callahan got the boot. Brian Callahan got the boot out of Tennessee really quick. I don't know how long McDaniels got left, but I'm pretty sure he's the next one that's out of here.
I agree.
All right. Let's keep it going. Sorry, I had to take y'all to the toilet real quick. My bad. But, saw some opportunity there. Thought that was a little bit of gem. What you got, bro?
We're going to go to 4 o'clock game. We're going to go to Indianapolis, traveling over to Los Angeles, man, where there aren't no Los Angeles Charger fans. And we're going to see a lot of blue and white.
You are.
Instead of blue and gold. I think Indianapolis has excitement behind this Indianapolis team.
Mm-hmm.
This will be like a home game for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But most importantly, just looking at what we're seeing is there's a short projection of an outcome. And I think the money line opportunity is there for the taking. It's short, but it's there. And why is that? Not only is Daniel Jones playing out of his mind, a whole new player that we didn't know was available at the quarterback position when he played for the Giants. But we're looking at one of the best running backs and running game offensive line tandem that we've seen since the Eagles last year. Jonathan Taylor's balling. Balling out of his mind. And over the last 4 games that the Chargers have played, they've given up an average of 144 yards rushing, including 137-yard gains on the ground against the Dolphins. And we've seen how they struggle to win late against the Dolphins. Indianapolis is a better team than the Dolphins. They have a better run game than the Dolphins. I think this game is going to get one on the ground. You're talking about a number 4 ranked run block offense against a struggling defensive line that can stop the run. Give me the Indianapolis Colts to win this on the ground and using Daniel Jones's arms and play action and to win this game in Los Angeles.
Mm. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I like the call. I do like the call. And the other thing is, I think the Chargers got crushed earlier in the year with Slater going down. I think Joe Alt is also possibly injured. We just know about Hampton going on IR. Even though
Mm-hmm.
the kid after him um, showed up, I think it was like Van or Vlan or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, who played as well. I think he had a big game. Quentin Johnston, who's they've been waiting for almost 2 years. Who was at TCU, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Out of TCU, they've been waiting for 2 or 3 years to start and to finally kind of show promise. He's injured, so Chargers are not in the great scheme right now of having other guys, and kind of a lot of their key players are injured. So Colts coming in fairly healthy. It looks like nobody, of big name, maybe Tre'Davious Ward there with the concussion. Got to worry about, but I'm not worried about anybody offensively, especially if Quentin Johnson can't go.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be tough for the Chargers to score here. Wouldn't even mind a peek at the total outcome on the under there, especially if you got a heavy ground game coming from the Colts. Slow that clock down. Jonathan Taylor, as you said, is balling, leading the league in rushing. I think with 608. I think I just saw something like that. Yeah, 603. I'm sorry. Leading the league in rushing, 603 yards. So yeah, no, good take. Good take. I got one more. Um, it was down there. I think this week kind of really doesn't show much. I think the Raiders is a good call. It's a lean. Um, Chiefs never cover those big numbers like that. It's almost like automatic. Um, and I also like uh, another lean, the Jets. If Tyrod gets the call,
Mm-hmm.
if Taylor gets the call, I think who said this out loud? I think it was Acho. Acho said if Aaron Glenn wants to save his job, he needs to pull the cord on Fields. There's no way in your right mind, I think he said, and I think I agree with him, that you have a quarterback who had negative 10 net passing yards for the game go back out there and be your starting quarterback.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, this is not, now, is all those sacks his fault? No. But some of them have to be accredited to him for sure. And then to think you're going to put that back on the field again, like, that doesn't, like, to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I'm right on the game right behind you, 425. We're going to Dallas.
Mm.
Going to Big D.
Pause.
Pause.
Phew, Jesus.
I was there. I was there. You know what I mean?
Delay.
We going down to Dallas, and we're going to talk about Prescott and them boys.
Fuck was that about? Dude, you're weird.
Putting up a lot of points. But we also going to talk about that defense ain't shit. And we're going to talk about Daniels, who can put up a lot of points. And their defense ain't all that. I think they get some of their players back. Debo didn't have the greatest game last game, but I think he comes back. I think Terry McLaurin actually practiced, so I think they're getting healthy. Dallas is going to be Dallas. But, I mean, look at these scores for Dallas, 30-27. They let the Jets put up 22 points on them. Tied, if only Dallas can tie, 40-40. They lost 31, 37. I mean, they're giving up almost 30 points per game against anybody and against everybody. And now you have a competent Washington coming in here who can still put up points. And without their main receiver, that was able to still put up 24 points in a rainy type game versus Chicago. Now they get fast track. Now they get the dome. Now they get the prime time. Now they get the big lights. Oh, stars are going to shine in this game. I like the projected team total over, even though it's high. This is going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I can see this being a big time shootout. Fantasy football people drool over this one and get players locked in. Props everywhere, overs everywhere. Give me the team projected total. I think both scores go over that. It wouldn't surprise me if both team scores in the 30s.
Do we know what that is?
55 and a half at some shops. Other shops have it a point under. I think I have it written down as
That'll be the biggest one of the week, right?
54. Yes, that is the biggest one of the
Excuse me.
pause. Biggest total projected outcome of the week at 54 and a half.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's going to be there. Even if you want to look either team's totals might be a good one also. Yeah, I definitely like your play here.
And you talk about somebody balling. I mean, I know we don't like to talk about it, but Dak Prescott is definitely balling.
Yes, he's playing well.
Second in yards in the NFL at 1,600 yards, and then second in passing touchdowns with 13 without CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb practice this week. So you could see CeeDee Lamb coming back in Dallas almost being full strength, or at least offensively, outside of some of their offensive line, but skill positions. I think Turbin practice as well. And I think we know the Commanders' D-backs are not they're just solid. They're not good, but they're just solid starting veterans. So I can see Dallas Cowboys having a good day. This screams like 33-28 with Washington still. I mean, I know it's an NFC's rivalry. It's an NFC divisional game. But like I said, this kind of screams to me there's going to be a lot of points in this game scored. So, lock and load with any of your fantasy stuff that people are looking at. I think this is a game you need to really get a part of.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. I think you're 100% right. I got one more, brother.
All right.
It's just a Monday night football game. We'll keep it quick. We're looking at Tampa Bay traveling to Detroit. Tampa Bay with a huge win.
Big game.
All the big chants about MVP for Baker is well deserved. He's been balling. He's been playing out of his mind. Very consistent. This is just a tough spot for Tampa right now.
I was about to say, break it to him lightly, bro.
Just a tough spot. Lions are coming off of a loss on national television.
Yeah, embarrassing.
Right? Was not able to put up points against the Chiefs. Chiefs pretty much dominated. Chiefs at home is tough to beat. But you're coming off a loss and you're going back home, right? Dan Campbell upset with his team. Obviously, there was a fight at the end of that, so he had to address that. So I think this was a get-right spot for the Detroit Lions here. I think this is one of them where we're strapping it up in practice today. We're going to get after it. And then not only that, you just got a banged-up Tampa Bay team coming in. You lost your starting right tackle, starting right guard to IR. You got decimated at the skill positions with not sure if Mike Evans will be returning. He might be, but Chris Godwin is still out. Your starting running back and Bucky Irvin is out. And unfortunately, the rising star Emeka Egbuka got injured to the hamstring. And I'm sure he's not going to be ready to go to run any routes in week 8, although that's still in question. I think without that, Baker has a very uphill battle to keep up with Detroit. We know that Tampa gives up points, so that means Detroit will be able to score. This could be a high-scoring game also. You may look at the total, but I like Detroit to cover here. I think they win by at least a touchdown or at least 10 points. I think this is a get-right game for Detroit. And then Tampa Bay comes back to normal a little bit. That's where I got them.
Yeah, I agree. This will be a really MVP performance if Baker can pull this out. But I agree with you. I'm not sure if they do. I think the line is a lot of respect with Tampa, especially with all these injuries. But you guys also know on the other side defensively, you're missing 2 key starters from the Detroit Lions, with Branch getting suspended and Arnold, their first-round pick from Bama, is also out with an injury as well. And they didn't have Egbuka for a lot of that game against the 49ers last week. And they would still be able to put up 30 points against pretty much a banged-up defense as well, especially when they lost Fred Warner. That game was over once you saw that. So I agree. I think they might keep it a little bit close in the beginning, but to your point, I think sooner or later, you need
It's
some
hard to keep up.
stars.
Yep.
Yeah, you need some stars to make plays at the end of the day. And if you don't have any of your stars that you're used to, those 50-50 balls, Mike Evans playing is huge if he can. I would swing Tampa if Mike Evans plays because that gives them at least somebody or you can feel who can make plays. But if not, I think Detroit should handle business. There's too much offense, too much running ability. Even though Vita Vea's just, I'm
Beast.
trying to think. I'm trying to think who Vita. He kind of reminds me of like, I'm trying to think of somebody like Gilbert Brown or something. Somebody you just don't run the ball when he's in the
Yeah,
game.
it's tough.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You
Hmm.
just don't. So, yeah, no, I think that's a really decent preview there on that game. I want to could
Who's
be
the
the
one that
game.
used to play for the Patriots? Is it Wilcox?
Yeah, Wilford.
Wolford. Yeah, like a Wolford.
Yeah, yeah. He's just like, but he's more athletic than those guys. That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. You know what I mean? And he don't look like he wears shoulder pads. He just look like he out there with some tights and a shirt
Hmm.
on, just playing football. But I
Yep.
think you got the game of the week. I would think the Bucks and the Lions are the game of the week. Moving forward. I was before we get out of here, I was looking at some other previews for some look ahead stuff. Um, and I was just want to get your sense of what we see here. We already talked about them, right? Back here in Philly right now, the look ahead preview spot, they have the Eagles at a touchdown.
For
So just
Giants,
yeah, for the Giants. That's the look ahead right now.
take the Giants.
What was it?
Take the
Wh-
Giants right now.
What was another look ahead spot?
Damn. 7 points. Take the Giants at 7 points.
Yeah, I think that was the only one I think I wanted to bring up that I saw.
Only because you got to think about
Yeah, that's the only one.
the injuries. It's a tough game going to Minnesota. I don't know. 7 points is a lot.
Yeah, seven. Actually, no, 7.5.
A lot of
Okay.
points for a team that really just dominated you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a better team for sure. 100%. You're supposed to be a better team, but they out
Mm.
physicaled you. And I think they're going to bring the same thing. If injuries are to stay the same, 7.5 is a lot of points. I can't. The Eagles have shown me nothing that I can give them 7.5 points to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, everybody. I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with us on a late night or early morning if you're just watching this once the videos drop. Again, the videos will be dropping at 12, 4, and 8 across the board for NFL and college, all the way up into game day. So make sure you guys hit your notifications, hit your subscribes, make sure you support the show, hit your likes, even drop a comment for us. See what preview you like best. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. Give us the feedback. I am Moss Money. That's my guy, BHUmble. We'll see you guys next week. Happy hunting and good luck on all the previews.